Welcome to the Claw State Pod. We're taking on the offseason with a discussion about spring training, the NFL draft, some of the headlines with Deion Sanders and the revenue sharing, and a couple other fun things. Please enjoy. Why does everyone in the Big Ten become Iowa?
Everything evolves to eventually become a crab.
Ryan Date wanted the crab fight.
This team has two claws and it wants to snip at you.
He will play like the crab if he feels threatened.
Some peak off-season content that we have here.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like the tone of like how things happen is so much slower, but all the little things are where you like build college football fans for life. Like I remember like just not having the resources, but then being like, man, I can't wait for game days in the fall and everything, and like fall training camp, because that's when I would like get news and it would like make it to me. But it would be like March and I'm like humming the fight song and like band covers of pop songs that I've heard throughout the academic school year, well, the academic sports year. So now it's like, man, what do I do in May? And now with the world of like forums and social media, and I don't know, I think college football's been at least more widely covered, if not responsibly handled. Not like it ever was. I'm just saying, like, it's
Yeah,
nuts.
I mean,
there's stuff out there, and it's a little bit more accessible to me now that I'm further along in this thing.
Can I say something? The offseason is so much more boring now that you can just legally pay players. It was so fun when it was illegal and secretive to pay people. There was always cool stories. Like if you're like a journalist who used to cover like Ole Miss's football program with Hugh Freeze when they're just like paying off the mob and stuff. Like there was so much more interesting things to do than now. I kind of feel bad. Now you have to talk about football. You know, like
Yeah. You could count on their, like, how I explain college football, like, coverage to my mom was like, in the NFL, there will be like scandals. There's characters, you know, like there's a Jerry Jones that just floats in the background that shows up and like is like, well, yes, I was at the public persecution of Ruby Bridges, but don't worry, I was just checking it out. Like there are still those guys in college.
Is that
football.
true?
Yes, he's in a photo, clear as day.
I did not know that. That's really
It's
fucked
so
up, actually.
crazy. Ruby Bridges has an Instagram, and Jerry Jones could be tagged on it. It's so crazy.
That's fucked up, dude. I learned about that in school.
Yeah,
Like when I was a kid. Fuck. Ugh.
but college football has that. In like, there's somebody named Nitro Tuggle getting pulled over. Like, there's always just more colorful variations of stories that you, I guess, kind of get accustomed to. And that happens during the season too. But in the off season, it was all you had. Besides, like, recruiting rankings and blogs and all that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, college football is still pretty crazy. I mean, like, could you imagine if, like, the Dallas Cowboys just had like 16 players arrested for going 400 miles per hour down the Dallas freeway? It would be a huge story. In college football, it's not even like that big of a deal, all things considered.
I mean, Michael Irvin and some other players got busted in an apartment with like coke and like dancers, I guess. I'm being friendly when I say dancers.
Yeah, well, also but think about it. That's a big story. If that happened in college football, we wouldn't even blink. Like it would mean nothing.
That's true. They would make a mixtape like Miami did.
Whatever.
They would all be roommates.
We've had players literally in gangs killing people while being on the team, and that still didn't even really break a national news headline.
Yeah, it's like, oh, dude, did you hear? We just got Kellen Mond.
Oh, I know. Yeah, the NFL is still making documentaries about Aaron Hernandez. Meanwhile, we're like, dude, Aaron Hernandez is nothing compared to we've had like 20 Aaron Hernandezes since that happened. Are you
They
kidding?
weren't all that good, though. And they weren't all on national championship teams, but a few of them might have been.
Yeah, we don't know yet. But yes, spring football. Spring football is upon us. Did you have a program you really want to talk about for spring football?
Wanted to touch on Iowa State if you don't mind. No.
Go for it.
Well, the thing is, it's like it's tough not to get siloed into your own little wheelhouse. So it's nice that we have our Reddit account now and can like dip into what other people are talking about. I checked into the Auburn page and they were all wrapped up in the basketball season. Once again, John is not here to face the music. Funny how that works. But
I will say I got a notification on my phone that you were giving somebody advice about haircuts in the Auburn subreddit.
Yep.
I was like, as soon as I read it, I was like, this is either John or Josh. But let's be honest, Josh is the only person that'd be this open-minded about getting a haircut.
But yeah, we're having fun on there. But
yes,
it's nice seeing like with Iowa State, things are quiet. And right now, I mean, this is true across sports. Like, it's just a big deal retaining your players. So, like, for us, it's like, all right, we had one defensive lineman transfer to Texas A&M. He has, like, NFL body, but I don't know if he had NFL production in our 3-3 stack defense. So he's going where Nick Scourton and Shamar Moore went. So, wait, is it Shamar or Shamik?
Shamar. I think.
Shamar.
Right? Shamar Moore. Yes. Oh, no, wait, that's an actor.
That's what I was thinking of.
He's like the type of actor that you would recognize but didn't know.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway,
Shamik Moore. Well, now he's going to a place where Nick Scourton and Shamik Moore both went. So good for him, even if it is like a loss. But it's just interesting. Like, you take advantage. No. Sorry, what am I saying?
That
it's
it's
just
quiet.
nice. It's quiet.
Yeah.
It's good. So the biggest news, I would say, that like hit the transfer portal like the other day was David Bailey, the edge rusher from Stanford. They fired their coach and replaced him with NFL head coach Frank Reich. And it's crazy that, like, I don't know, there's still some big pieces out there that you just didn't see coming. And for Stanford, it's like, oh God, we just lost everybody, and the transfer portal's still open, but now you're waiting until middle of spring, like right before like summer break, when the transfer portal opens again to like backfill guys after your coach just left.
I mean, it's a rebuilding year for them. I mean, they're gonna suck this season, but they know that.
That's true. I'm just saying, like, it's what your stadium was already empty. It can only get so much emptier, you know. I think. Sorry.
Besides the point, Iowa State is quiet.
Iowa State's so quiet. I immediately started talking about other places.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's most importantly, it's like Iowa State has a QB, right? So there's not really much. I mean, QB is the ultimate controversy to have on a team or to even talk about. And I don't even know the backup. I don't know who the backup is. So
there's a guy that I saw play in high school multiple times, won a bunch of state championships, Connor Moberly, who surpassed J.J. Cole, who was a 4-star guy, another Elite 11 kid that transferred to Appalachian State. I think he might be in the mix to start there. Then we got Alex Mansky, who is another Elite 11 kid who signed on early. It's just interesting that, like, man, for Iowa State, it's good that you're winning the best quarterback in the state pretty much year after year. Like, I don't know why you'd want to go
yeah,
anywhere
your
else.
competition is Iowa. I mean, like, realistically.
But you're also competing with Kansas State and Kansas and Missouri.
But all these schools, barring maybe Missouri, don't produce as good as QBs as we do. So,
which is
what? Very surprising. Yeah, for sure. But okay. Well, given that Iowa State's kind of coming off a bad end to a good season, and is kind of quiet going into the offseason, there is a QB controversy that's not them, which is Georgia. Well, it's not a controversy. It's just a new QB. I don't know if anyone noticed, but we got a new QB after Carson Beck, who is much better. His name is Gunnar Stockton, and he is from bumfuck Georgia. And I was going to say, I know nothing about his offseason improvements. You know why? Because I know that all he's doing is fishing, drinking, and playing football. I don't have to worry about his offseason improvements. He has no life. I guarantee it. I don't know anything about him, and I have no plans on it. I saw him run directly into 2 Texas players to murder him for no gain at all, and in a game. So I know how he plays. Georgia's just in a. I have no confidence in this season, to be honest. So, I have no idea how to feel. That was a long way to say nothing, but.
Well, I think I'm just curious, like, why are they sticking with Gunnar Stockton? I figure, like, with Georgia's. Good. Well, yeah, I mean, that's fine. But normally finding a good guy and then just letting him rock seems crazy. Like,
well,
normally you're going through 2 quarterbacks a year. At some point, you're going to need the second one. And do they just have like a developmental guy?
I don't even know the back up top of my head, but he's probably some 5-star. I don't know. I have no fucking. Well, I was gonna say, who's on the transfer portal though? It's kind of a weak year for transfer portal. I feel, right? There's no Cam Ward, who you're just like, he's a white whale to get, right?
That's true.
That's what I'm thinking. Also, like, he played really well. I don't think like he was really the issue in our playoff games.
No, it's not that. Like, he looked decent in like the limited games he was able to play. I'm just kind of surprised there was no big splash that made it to me over here. Like,
yeah.
I guess if you're like some elite recruit that, not even recruit, over elite, like transfer portal target, like Georgia's an attractive destination, but I don't think they were breaking the bank to get people.
Not for QB. I mean, not for QB. I mean, not that we'll get bad QBs, but we're not. I actually think Iowa State, like, if you were going to be a QB, wouldn't you rather play for Iowa State, like in a spread offense where you get to air it out more than Georgia?
Only place that had 2 1,000-yard receivers.
Yeah, like, you're throwing to NFL receivers. You're playing in the Big 12 with, like, really favorable rules. And you are playing in a spread offense. You know, that's got like a pretty decent track record for putting up passing yards at a minimum, you know. I don't know. I don't think we're as much of a draw in that respect, you know.
I mean, leave me advocating for the SEC, but
yeah. I mean, there's that allure, but you could go to Bama, you can go to Tennessee, you can go to.
Do I want to go to Bama?
Yeah, you don't?
Over Georgia?
If I'm a QB? If I'm a quarterback, for sure. I mean, if you're like a linebacker, you know, obviously I think there's a better choice, but if you're a QB, I think they're probably, I mean, the best offense to go through in the SEC is
you get to be
Tennessee,
a 2-sport fucking athlete in the 3rd Saturday of October at Bama, so maybe I should go there.
Should we talk about the NFL draft? I would like to actually talk about the draft because we're college fans, and sometimes all the draft coverage is always from the NFL perspective, and they'll be talking about guys who I think are incredible at like their mid, and I can't handle it, you know?
Yeah. The thing is, I'm excited for so many of like our guys from the show last season that when the combine's going on, I'm like, no, he could have. I know he doesn't run a 4.5. I know that. He got off to a slow start, and some annoying fan who like some annoying Jaguars fans gonna be like, oh, I can't believe you got this slow ass running back. I'm like, no, you don't know anything about Tank Bigsby.
Yeah. It's always like, for me, it's always like, oh yeah, Tank Bigsby. It's always guys like Olave where they're like, I don't get what's so good about him. Like, dude, he's so fucking good. You have no idea. He's not a combine guy, you know? Like, he's good at the game of football. Like, I mean, this year's interesting to me in the draft, like for the draft, because the QBs are both, to me, very good college QBs, but I don't like. Do you think Cam Ward's should be like #1 overall pick level? Like, he's a little sloppy for #1 overall pick for me, my taste, you know?
I think the fact that I talk about Cam Ward in the same, at least, well, in college football, I talk about Cam Ward the same way I talk about Josh Allen in the NFL. And it's not the same thing. It's not even the same, like, athletic profile or anything. Like, I just, like, I think if you're looking for a guy with traits, he's there. I think, like, it would be a bad year to be like, we need our franchise guy. But it's a great year to get, like, we just need an athlete that we can hopefully, like, polish into somebody. Like, a guy like Shedeur Sanders, I feel like out of this... Yeah, I think he's good. I think his ceiling is Baker Mayfield. And I don't think that's number 2 on the draft board, you know? Like, if I knew that what Baker Mayfield was, like, I don't think he would have gone #1 overall, but he's still very, like, good. Like, he's a multiple-year NFL starter. But he had a big slump, and he needed to be in the right system, and he needed Mike Evans. Like, just get him the right stuff.
But I think Shadeur's better than Cam Ward, like, personally. I think he'll be... Dude, I think Shedeur has, way better about keeping his eyes downfield, way more, like... I mean, he's playing behind a terrible offensive line, and he's making those throws, that translates way more to the NFL than Cam Ward's situation. I mean, he wasn't playing behind some stellar Miami line, but I don't know. The way that Cam Ward dealt with pressure was way more... I don't know. You can tell Dion coached Shedeur up pretty good, like, about, like, how to play quarterback. He's just more polished to me, I think, you know? He steps into throws on big hits, you know? He does, like, all the little things that I like.
See, that's the thing. I think there's some stuff you can teach and some stuff you just can't. But even then, the stuff you can teach doesn't mean you can just do it every time. I think Cam Ward is has the higher ceiling.
He's older, though. Shadeur's much younger. That's another factor. Cam Ward is old. Like, that, you know, like, he's, like, older than, like, Justin Fields, right? Probably.
Is he?
Dude, he's old as fuck.
Like 23? What year?
Yeah, well, I'm pulling him up right now. Let's see. How old is he? Fuck it. How is this not readily available on the internet? Cam Ward age. 22. He's 22.
Yeah, that's not old.
I mean, that's a super senior, isn't it?
No.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess it depends. Okay. Well, either way,
one of the rare non-COVID aged guys.
Yeah, that was. I guess I clumped him in with a different batch. Anyway, besides the point,
he just had a big history. Like, I think this is his 3rd school, Miami.
Yeah.
Because he was at Incarnate Word, and then he transferred to Washington State, and then he went to Miami after spurning the draft last year. Well, eschewing the draft, not spurning.
which was definitely the right call because he would definitely not be a number one overall pick.
No,
in
no,
another
no.
year. Okay, I mean, fair enough. I think Shador will be better. I think Shador has the higher ceiling personally. I just like him a little bit more. But neither of them are even the best player in the draft. The best player in the draft is probably Abdul-Carter, right?
I think it's Travis Hunter, dude.
Dude, I do not. I mean, I like him, but I'm one of those people where I'm like, it was ridiculous. He got the Heisman, like highway fucking robbery to me. Even though he's really good, oh, it was Genty. Come on, or Scadaboo. I would have taken Scadaboo too. Like, anyway, besides the point, he's good, but I don't think he's. I think Abdul-Carter is like. I mean, he's playing an impact position, you know. I mean, at best, Shador play or not Shador. Travis Hunter plays corner, right?
I think being like an elite corner and being an elite receiver in college counts for so much. Like truly,
Sure.
he's really good at two high value positions, and a smart coach will get the most out of them. It would honestly be foolish to get like Travis Hunter with like a top 5 pick and then not use him both ways. Like
They're not going to use him both ways, dude. That would be like Dion. Like you do it with like Deion Sanders. Like I don't think he's that good in the
he
NFL.
Is a
I don't
generational
think
talent, and not in the generational way that people like just say, "Oh, generational." No, like this man. The only question I have with him is that durability. But if you're smart with where you use him, I'm not calling like I don't know. Like I'm not having Travis Hunter be a goal line corner. I'm not having Travis Hunter be running slants over the middle like in the 30 yard like line. Like I'm not doing that to him. But I'm getting some offense production and I'm lining him up outside.
you have way more confidence in him. It's the NFL. Yeah, I just don't think he's going to be able to pull that off. I think he'd be a good corner. The reason I said Abdul-Carter was just because he plays like edge. Like that's a way more impact position in the NFL.
I think Abdul-Carter is really good. I think Travis Hunter is just so much more valuable because I feel like if you give him to the right coach, I'm so worried. Like if the Ravens somehow got him and
0%
John Harbaugh, no, it's not happening. I'm just saying, I just trust John Harbaugh to like manage this like ultimate like gadget player correctly, to like put him in the right spaces to like work with people, to get him on the field the same time as Lamar Jackson. Like I want that, but it's never gonna happen until his second contract when the Giants fuck this up. So
okay, can we address
when he has too much personality for New York? I don't like the way that man carries himself. He thinks he's all that.
He's gonna end up on the Chiefs somehow, because because the world is cruel, and somehow he'll end up on the Chiefs. Fuck. Okay, can we address the elephant in the room? There's one player to me that has like the biggest wild card factor in the draft in terms of where he can go. Jalen Milroe. I could totally see a team randomly taking him in like the second round, or being like, we can make this guy a tight end or like a gimmick player, or we'll try and run him a cute. You know what I mean? He could go to the 5th round or the 6th round. He can go in the 2nd round to me. Like he's got a huge window.
I'm gonna say something a little rude. I think the modern NFL will be more kind to this generation's Pat White. I think they'll find ways to use him, and players do switch positions. Like it's happened successfully. Like I don't know how tall Milrow is, but if he could play H-back or something, or
But before you go on this diatribe, Anthony Richardson is currently fucking getting starting snaps in the NFL. That's like sub 50% completion percentage, pure athlete highlight reel. Milrow is definitely better than Anthony Richardson was, right? Like to me, they are very similar players. I would argue Milrow is better, but older. Admittedly, Richardson came out much younger.
I don't know. I think it's gonna have to happen by accident. Not
I
just
could
like
see him being successful.
no, I mean like a team will have to be like, ah, fuck. Our first and second option got hurt. We need to crab walk out of this.
You're that down. You're like 100%. You tell me like the Steelers won't be like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just try this guy. Like,
I think I mean like when when the Raiders had Terrell Pryor, like it wasn't like a functional offense, but they let him cook for a little bit. And there were some like real like memorable moments. Like he had this like 90 something yard run against the Steelers one time in Oakland. Like it was working for a little bit. And then Terrell Pryor switched to wide receiver, and he was good on the Browns for like one season. But then I don't know. I don't know if you can keep this up for like a real long time. I feel like you can win a game or two because you're just doing something unorthodox and you've committed to it and you're executing it well. Like it's not as desperate as like the Broncos were that one game during 2020 when they had Kendall Hinton, the wide receiver, play quarterback for them one time against the Saints.
I guess I'm much higher.
Bad, but I think that how this works is Terrell Pryor.
I think it could be like optimally like perfect situation, like a backup on the Eagles, like someone who can run, or the Ravens, like someone who could run their system if someone gets hurt, can run a bit. What was the journeyman quarterback he played? He was the starter Baker's rookie year in Cleveland.
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, I'm like, I could see that, like he played for the Bills for a while, I have more faith in him.
So we're gonna give him to John Harbaugh. That's the fix. For all the players that we think are athletic and unorthodox that could be something special, let them stay with John Harbaugh for a little bit, and then we'll see how it works.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Either way, the rest of the draft is like mainly. I feel like there's a lot of defense this year.
What are you looking out for?
Like from Georgia?
I mean, like on defensive side of the ball.
I feel like Jack Sawyer. I feel like Jack Sawyer's pretty good. I think he bit of a head case. I like Will Johnson as well. I think he's pretty solid. Michael Williams, Jalen Walker. I don't think Malachi Starks is going to be particularly good in the NFL.
Really?
I think it'll be average. I don't see like it's hard. I mean, the NFL is really hard, so that's why I'm like, yeah. Genty, I mean, not a defensive player, but don't you want him to go in the first round?
Oh, I think he definitely will. I just think I'm so excited for so many running backs in this class. And I know my team isn't going to somehow get Ashton Genty. So I'm just like, all right, wherever he goes, I'll be excited to see him.
I will do anything for the Falcons to get Cam Skattebo. Where is he projected? He's not projected first round, which is crazy to me.
I think the question with him was he did run his 40 time at the combine, and then he didn't have like a particularly amazing one at his pro days. It was like a 4.63 or something.
Who fucking like? I don't know. Who cares about these 40 times? Like,
Well,
have you
it's
seen
not
this guy? He's a
well,
stud. Like,
all the people that are making the decisions will be like, all right, we don't care about his 40 time. But for now, in off-season coverage, it's like,
yes,
I'm
for
moving
sure.
Cam Scatterboo down on my draft board. Listen, he's been in my heart, bro. He's been
Yeah.
in my heart. I don't care what they say about him. So I can't wait to see where he goes. Just because it's like, the list is Cam Scatterboo, Devin Neal, RJ Harvey, Kyle Monangai, and Travion Henderson. I want to see where they go. And Quinshon Judkins, honestly. I want to see where those 6 go. Because the teams that will use them correctly will have so much fucking fun. I just want to see.
I'm gonna get so triggered when it's like an NFL Thursday night game and Cam Scatterboo like goes off, and everyone's like, "Where did this guy come from?" I'm like, "You motherfuckers! He was so good, and we all knew about him. We all knew about him."
Scatterboo.
But this draft is packed with people like that. Like, they're gonna say about Cam Ward, even though he's like a top pick, he's kind of an unknown. He's not like a Bryce Young or maybe someone of that profile. Like, more people know about Shedeur Sanders than Cam Ward. And if Cam Ward plays really well, people will be like, "Where did this guy come from?" And you'll be like, "He came from Washington State."
That's right. He came from Incarnate Word.
He used to play in the Pac-12 when it existed.
Man, that's really special. That's another thing. There's like a handful of players that will like have played in a conference that didn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I know. It'll be crazy. This draft's actually pretty fun, and I actually like I feel like it's pretty even. Like, I don't think there's that big of a difference between the number 1 pick and the number 32 pick. Like, really. I think everyone is gonna walk away with somebody pretty good. Like, I think it's a deep draft, but I don't think there's any pure like top star. You obviously think it's Travis Hunter, but
I think Travis Hunter is. All right, the version of Travis Hunter that is good is one of the best players ever. The version of Travis Hunter that doesn't work, I mean, it makes sense to me. He could just be like a fine wide receiver.
he's just too small to be good at wide receiver in the NFL. I mean, the NFL has like Julio Jones, like freaks, like absolute like 6'7" giants who can, like, I don't know. I think he'll be a good corner. I find it very hard to believe he can be a receiver in the NFL.
No, the footwork is there, the speed is there, the hands are there.
I mean, he'll be good, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't quite see it. I think he's a little small.
I think he adds like 20 pounds in the next 2 years, and
If he thickened up, yeah,
we're
important.
good. We're good.
It's a very skinny draft. Can I say that? Shedeur needs to put on some weight. It's a skinny draft. They need to get stronger.
What's going on at our schools? We can't feed these boys.
Yeah.
How will we feed our hungry boys?
Speaking of Shedeur, Dion gets extended. You wanted to talk about that? I'm not.
I did want to. Give me just a second.
For everyone listening, Josh just put on a cowboy hat.
I just wanted to talk to you for a second, partner. Because I'm wearing a cowboy hat and sunglasses right now, and it looks like this Colorado thing is working out pretty good.
Yes, and I was the ultimate hater, and I assumed that Deion Sanders would get fired, and he did not get fired at all.
And I'll be quite frank, I thought this would be a wrap by now too. But it looks like the show is going on.
This was a Colorado haters' nightmare season. They won the fucking Heisman. Shador's
Won
gonna
the
go in the first
Heisman.
round too.
Right, about to have
Dion,
2 first-round picks for the players that were telling you years ago, I'm going to be a first-round pick. I might be number 1 overall.
I know, in a biblical sense, it's a failure, but just no humility at all. Completely rewarded, you know.
Absolutely. Like, they got smacked up by BYU, and ESPN's posting clips like, wow, can you imagine? Look how fast Travis Hunter missed this running back, making it scoring on him. What an impressive play to not give up by Travis Hunter. Like, it's so crazy. Like, for one thing, Colorado has lost its like star power. Got some exciting players in the draft. They won 10 games. They were right in the mix with everybody during the Big 12 title race. Like, this season was nothing but a success. And I said last year, I'm like, man, these guys, if Dion doesn't call it quits, the program is better than when he got there. They'll have something to start off with. There's a class of freshmen that came in and said, this is what Colorado football is, packed stadiums and lots of fun. And it looks like we can compete for real and be in the playoff too.
Well, we'll
They might
we'll
not
see
have
if
the
they can
same
do
talent.
it again this season, but
Listen, it's the Big 12. There's no guarantee that you're going to be back again next season. Like,
Yeah.
that's just not how this works. But you are in the mix. I have to take you seriously until further notice. So it's a nice time over in Boulder. I can't. I'm still shocked that they're doing it. They're building a real program
you
that
have
can
to recruit
compete in a
players.
real conference.
You have to recruit players from high school, though. They still didn't do that.
Do you?
Yes, yes, you fucking
Do you?
All right, I'll eat my crow for this season, but I do not. You know what? You know, I won't even. I will give them the benefit of the doubt. I guess I have to admit that. Either way, he got extended. That's further than I thought they'd get. So
and you
it's
know
all
how
gravy.
it is. With these contracts, it's all funny money anyway. But I think the big thing, like, in order to keep recruiting, it has to be like yes, I'm extended through this amount of time. Like, pen has been put to paper. Like, the only job that I could see calling him away was Florida State or the Dallas Cowboys. And
Yeah, I mean the NFL, but I mean who could stop an NFL offer? It's basically impossible.
I mean, I would. This could be the start of something huge.
I don't want to affirm this. I don't. I feel like we're talking about like crypto or something. Like I just don't. I don't buy it.
You know what? That is a good example. Like, yeah, it is flashy. It could lack substance. It is based on something that could vary each year. They could have a Florida State year next season.
It's true, and they'll
Without
still have
their-
believers, and it'll still continue to succeed in spite of everything I think about it, and it'll be like, how is this possible?
It's just a dip, bro. Promise.
Oh yeah, Trump's adopting Deion Sanders for reserve currencies because that's the Colorado Buffs.
Maybe with revenue sharing officially starting, the way that teams are constructed, like that NIL component just isn't as big of a draw. Like, if you're already getting something, guys that just need their basics covered are good. They have the scholarship, they have some sort of compensation. Like, the difference between like $30,000 and $40,000 is pretty minimal when your basics are covered.
Oh, I mean, I just think like Colorado's actually a pretty strong offer. Like, you know what I mean? You get to play for Dion, which if you're 12, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
You get to live in Boulder. It's like fun college campus, weed legal. There's a bunch of guys getting drafted. They all had a lot of fucking fun. They didn't go to fucking class. Like it seems pretty awesome. You know what I mean? Like it seems pretty great. So I mean, and it's in the Big 12. You can make a playoff. You can get a big you can win fucking Heisman. Like you're not. You can get a big deal. Yeah, I mean, Colorado's not a bad. Traditionally, wasn't some small program, so it makes sense.
I just was wondering. I'm like, will we see the potential of this realized?
I hope we do. I do.
I can't believe this is how it works.
You took a major fucking rebrand.
Yeah.
Basically. But it worked. It worked.
It worked.
Okay. You mentioned that Bill Belichick and Frank Reich are both NFL head coaches now.
In the same conference on different coasts. Yes.
Oh, they are in the same conference. I didn't even fucking I keep forgetting that Stanford's in the ACC.
Oh God, yeah. So I was at a softball game last week, and I was talking to some friends, and they mentioned Maryland and Cal playing some softball game against each other. I'm like, oh, that's weird, and they're like, oh yeah, I was in the conference. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I know. That's even worse because Maryland shouldn't even be in the ACC, and then it's like,
oh, it's bad. No, that was the Big Ten. Wait, no, sorry, not Cal. It was UCLA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
either
so
way,
nasty.
We've talked about Belichick. I don't really have that strong of an opinion on Frank Reich. I never thought very highly of him as some great coach. I don't know if you think
he was a good OC for the Chargers for a while. Working with Phillip Rivers, like, I don't know how much do you really have to do when you have like a super veteran quarterback there. But then when he got hired by the Eagles and then the Colts, after Josh McDaniels backed out after agreeing to coach there, it was like, all right, we'll see how this works. And I don't know what happened in subsequent stops. Like when it stopped working at the Colts, he went to the Panthers, and I'm like, all right, good for the Panthers. This should be fine. It just never did. I have no idea what happened. But I do think, at least in college, if you're running it more like the NFL, but you still have the coach that doesn't have to answer to anybody, I think he could be a little bit more successful there. Like, I don't think anybody at Stanford is going to be like, this program has a proud winning tradition. Yeah, I can't believe you're not getting this right in 2 years or so. Like, he can take his time there.
Was he was at the Colts during like Andrew Luck at some point, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah.
They would have known each other because Andrew Luck's the guy. He's like the head guy at Stanford now, right?
Yeah, I didn't.
That's
even
probably
think
why
about that. Yeah.
I feel like that's why he got hired. They probably know each other because he's a QB guy. I mean, he played QB and he's kind of a QB guy.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Stanford's somehow been like incredible considering the limitations they have as a program. They've done pretty well on average, I think. So, I don't know. NFL guys are so hit or miss for me. Like, there's Herm Edwards, and then there's I don't know what's the upside version of Herm Edwards. Dion wasn't an NFL head coach, but
Jim Harbaugh.
True. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, Jim Harbaugh's perfect. Yeah. I mean, he's going to his alma mater. Maybe it'll work out. I don't know. I don't have strong, like, I never thought he was that amazing. So yeah.
I think it'll work out. I think part of it is I just still trust Frank Reich even more than I should. But I do think it's interesting that, at least in some context, there's just like, all right, we just need the NFL guys are willing to come back to college. It seems strange to me because so many guys are like not obviously just hoping to go to the NFL because that's the ultimate goal, but like the guys are like I'm trying to get out of this workload. I'm trying to get out of recruiting. I'm trying to get out of all this extra stuff. Like I'm surprised that guys are like I'm coming down, quote unquote.
I think they always come down to programs they can own, though. You know, that's why Belichick goes to North Carolina because, like, he's got roots there. No one's gonna tell him what to do. Same with probably Frank Reich with this whole like, he's a Stanford alum. Andrew Luck, you know, he probably got some assurances. I feel like that's almost how it always works with these NFL guys. But yeah, I mean, it's something. I've always liked the separation.
Run your own show. Makes sense. I don't know. I guess maybe you know what? It's hard to ask me. You give me $3 million at any point, I'm gone. I'm done. What are you still asking me questions for?
Yeah, no, I mean,
I got fired from a coaching contract and they had to pay me out 2 years after that. I'm good.
Yeah. These are workaholics. They gotta work. I would work. I would work even if I had that much money. I would still work. But yeah, that's how I am.
I'd work on art. I'd work on coaching a high school football team. That's what makes sense to me.
This is their version of a high school football team.
I'm not up at 3 a.m. for my fucking high school team, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they probably won't do that either. I don't know. Whatever. This is pointless. But anyway, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. They're in the ACC. I'm sure they'll get some wins. Can I ask you a question now? You have to predict this, and you have to shoot from the hip. Okay?
Sure.
Who's the best team in the state of Florida this next season? Who has the best season?
Who's on the list? Miami, Florida State, FIU,
UCF.
UCF.
That's it, realistically.
Good for FIU making the list. The best team out of Florida. The Gators have another hard schedule this year, you told me.
They have the exact same schedule, but everything's flipped. The SEC just has the same schedule back-to-back years. So they're going to have a tough schedule.
Game against Texas. They have their game against Georgia. They have their game against LSU again.
Yeah, I mean, they play LSU and Florida and Georgia no matter what. They play Tennessee. They always play Tennessee. So they have a tough schedule. I'm gonna say UCF, just because I don't think Florida State will be better. I don't think Miami will be better. They had a lot of Cam Ward last year, and I think Florida's schedule is too hard. And UCF sucks, but it's just
who was UCF's head coach? I totally forget.
Gus Malzahn?
No, he got fired.
Oh, right.
No, he stepped away.
Yeah. I don't even know where he is right now.
Oh my god, I forgot. It's Scott Frost.
Oh, yeah. Okay, he'll turn it around. He has such a good track record as a head coach. Can I take back my guess? Can I take back my guess? I thought Gus Malzahn was still there. I was like, oh, fuck it. Maybe he'll do it. No, I have zero faith in Scott Frost. Okay. It's Miami.
Yeah, I think it is Miami.
They're at least recruiting like animals, dude. They've got really good recruiting classes.
Yeah, they've got like in the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've been recruiting well. They have been a transfer portal destination. They got their fan base back on board. Games aren't sold out, but the stadium's full. That's nice.
The stadium sucks and is located too far from the campus.
Yes, but people are making the trip.
Sure, yeah.
That's nice.
They were also head coached by Mario Cristobal. which is the largest downside of the team.
But you still get that recruiting bump.
Yes, yes.
And say what you will about Carson Beck, he is an experienced quarterback.
Oh my God, I forgot he went to Miami. Oh, have fun, Miami fans.
Listen, I think Carson Beck is good enough to get to some high pressure situations. What he does in them is where your critiques come from.
Yeah. I mean,
but I think they'll be very competitive, and they'll be right in the mix in the ACC with Clemson and who else? Louisville and SMU again.
Yeah, SMU. Yeah,
so maybe
we'll see. I always like to guess the state of Florida because it's like by far the most competitive state, in my opinion. Like even more so than Texas.
Really?
I mean, how often is it there a different team in Texas who's the best team in the state? It's like TCU one year, a couple maybe once in a while. A&M never. Like when Johnny Manziel was there. Texas most of the time. I feel like their hierarchy is pretty set.
I guess I want to stick up for Baylor and Texas Tech, but
yeah. I just feel like Florida. It's like Florida State 13-0, Miami
SMU again.
Oh right, SMU. God, I'm forgetting about so many teams. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. I think the state of Florida gets like titles from different programs. Like it happens, you know. That's why I like to guess them.
Like I'm not second guessing Texas being the best in their state.
Not currently, yeah. Anyway, what else? We could talk about. Do you want to talk about revenue sharing? I don't have much to say other than you mentioned that it might help even the playing field a bit.
I think it's one of those things where places were coming up with money for NIL, like foundations and everything, and collectives and all that. And that stuff will still be there. It's not going anywhere. But instead of revenue sharing, instead of just that, with revenue sharing, it's like, all right, what happens in these negotiations, I guess, changes a little bit. Because if there's someone that just doesn't value that money as much, then what you're looking for is different. If I know that just being in this conference guarantees me some amount of like revenue share money, then being recruited by Kansas or Kansas State or Iowa State or Baylor makes very little difference. Now I'm just worried about like whatever NIL sprinklage and football fit and campus feel and all that stuff. Like that stuff plays a little bit more weight because there's some baseline that's already met. It's the same way that like, I don't know, it's universal basic income.
I think
no one's going hungry, so it's fine. It like you're asking me the difference between like having in-unit laundry or not. Like I'm fine. I'll have a place to sleep.
I think it'll do. So my feeling is that it'll help the competitive balance within conferences, but it will not. It'll make the competitive balance worse between conferences. So
For
like
sure.
I think. If you get revenue sharing as an SEC team, you're a Mississippi State, like the bottom of the fucking barrel for the SEC. You're getting way more money than you would maybe at Kansas State, for example. But the difference between now Mississippi State and Arkansas in the SEC might not be as much if you're getting revenue share. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel it'll make for better in conference races. I don't know if it'll help long term. It's going to make it even harder for like the ACC and the Big 12 to realistically compete. But I mean, it was inevitable, so you can't not do it. But
oh, this was another big story. Speaking of revenue sharing, The ACC finally settled with Clemson and FSU, where their unequal revenue sharing is pretty much written into law. So like people that like have success in the playoffs and in the postseason that win more money for the conference get to keep a higher percentage, and then it's based on some like sort of merit instead of
How did they win that? How do you even win a lawsuit where you're mad about a deal that you signed up for?
I think it was all right, without reading the articles and everything, my guess about how this would happen and make sense is that Florida State had their private equity like boosters or whatever. They said, listen, if there's like some settlement, we know that it goes down to a figure we can pay at some point coming up soon. Then we can get out of this deal the hard way. Then after that, what are you going to do? And now the settlement is based on what television, like the revenue money that you make because of what networks and stuff you're on, which is still kind of unfair because, say, for instance, I'm not going to watch a Wake Forest game. I'm sorry. Like, like, they could be, like, kind of good and be talented and everything, but if the television network's like, I'm sorry, I'm not showing you Wake Forest, Boston College on our prime time Saturday slot, then Clemson against Kent State is going to be put on some network. Like, I what am I supposed to do about that?
Yeah, stop being poor. That's just like a
But that's the thing. I'm trying not to be. I have a good team, but people just don't want. They think I'm ugly. I can't help that.
There's no amount of working out yet that'll help you. You're 5'2". I'm sorry. That's over.
So we could have potentially a bunch of wrestler body programs that just aren't as sexy.
Yes, but, as the male bodybuilder, Florida State,
who sucks, but it's a car crash that no one can turn off. So they're on Fox, and you're relegated to FS1. There's no way.
Yeah, I don't even like saying the words private and equity when talking about college football, but I hate that they're involved now.
Yeah. Listen, I can't even talk about it without like ruining my mood. So. Like, I don't know everything, but the stuff I do know is enough to make me very miserable. So I'm just...
Yeah, let's not talk.
That's all I'll bring that up for. But that like, I don't know, specter was floating around for them. And now with the new playoff format and everything, it makes their current arrangement seem really untenable. Again,
it needed to happen. I mean, Clemson and Florida State were going to fall behind. I mean, Clemson was never ahead, but Florida State was going to fall behind in terms of like, you know, Clemson's not some historical blue blood with like a huge, you know, they've earned their way pretty recently into that. But yeah. I mean, the ACC's fucked. The fact that they're doing this, they're completely fucked. But we'll see. I don't know.
Unequal revenue sharing is like. It's the opening the relationship of conference structuring.
Watch if it happens in the Big Ten. All these fucking little assholes. It's like, oh yeah, it's Ohio State and it's Michigan, and let's be real. How many other big programs are there? Nebraska. Who am I? I'm forgetting. I'm probably forgetting a team or two. But there's a lot of fucking leeches in the SEC, in the Big Ten. Your Mississippi States, your Vanderbilts. Actually, Vanderbilt probably drew this year because they're having like the greatest season ever. But Arkansas, there's a lot of programs that could be wiped out from a structure like this.
Wow, it sounds really awful not being in a conference full of the leftovers, huh?
Yeah.
Everyone secretly hates you, and the knives were just simply put away, not discarded.
The Big 12 is about to get like 40 teams to join. It's going to be so many fucking teams.
Here's the thing. Again, if you want to do Super League, I'll say go ahead.
Yeah.
Just let me unplug. Let me do my weird thing over here with my confederation of 40 teams. And we will be the Heartland Conference. And
just the leftover conference. It wouldn't even be hard. It would be literally you'd have Stanford, you'd have all these fucking random teams in it.
No. Stanford doesn't fit in. They can go be with Yale or whatever. That's not my business.
Yale is on the opposite side of the. Well, I guess Stanford is currently in a conference on the opposite.
Hey, they didn't want us. They didn't want us. They went to the ACC. They could have come here, but they said we don't want you. You guys aren't academically rigorous enough. See how much that fucking matters.
You know what'd be really funny is if that happened and Stanford tried to join the Ivy League, they would say you're still not good enough. The fucking Ivy League, the oldest money in America, would be like, no.
The Ivy League would be like, what are these jocks doing here?
Yeah, jocks. They'd say there's new
numbskulls.
Money. Stanford, you're essentially a state school compared to us. That's how they view you. You know, you only produce all the newest technologies in the planet, but
why don't you and Cal go play hacky sack?
We're gonna be picking the next president. We're gonna be busy picking the next president during our Harvard Yale game that everyone watches because it's so
Lorelei, let's get out of here. We have class to attend.
Gets in a helicopter. Okay, I think that's a good way to end the episode.
Sure.